What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Badass or Trash review, and today we are reviewing Halloween Ends. Now, I did a reaction video last night, and my thoughts have clearly changed a bit since that video, so some of the things I say in this review is going to be a little bit different. I still have my feelings towards the film as a whole is still about the same. But I just wanted to say that before we really get into it, and you're like, wow, he's a fucking hypocrite. So anyway, however you found us, thank you for coming to the channel, and thanks for watching this video. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like and subbing to the channel, we'd really appreciate it. And as usual, just a real quick housekeeping. Go to Rep Sports and be sure to pick you up some Raise Energy. We are proud sponsors of Rep Sports, and I love Raise Energy, and I'm not just saying that, by the way. This energy drink is really great. Zero in everything. You might have to deal with some caffeine. You might have to deal with some carbonation, obviously, because they have to give you a little pep. It's zero and everything else. The healthiest energy drink you can get. On Rep Sports, you can get t-shirts, you can get bags, you can get wristbands like this one here. You can get protein powders and sleep aids. And it's got a really diverse selection of items on Rep Sports. And the great thing about it is, because of our sponsorship, we have a 15% off discount code that you guys can type in at checkout. That'll give you 15% off your entire order. So I'll put the link in the description to repsports.com, and with our discount code Deadhead96, it's all in one word in caps. But again, I'll put all that down in the description so you don't have to remember that. And yeah, pick you up some Raise Energy, pick you up a t-shirt, pick you up pretty much anything. They're really good aids, and it's a good good aids. They have really good stuff. I'm sorry, Rep Sports. They don't have aids, they have good stuff. And yeah, check them out. Use the discount code and you'll get a good bit off of your order, and you won't be disappointed. So with that being said, let's get into our badass or trash review of Halloween Ends. All right, so what I want to say is my first thoughts going into this, well, after getting out, was I didn't really care for this movie. I've watched it about twice since then, and really a little bit, really you could say I've watched it 3 times here and there, just kind of catching up on some scenes and remember some stuff. And I have a list of things that I wanted to go over, some things that I liked, some things I disliked, and these are really in no specific order. I will say I'm not a fan of the direction of this film. I liked the idea. I will say I did see the potential. Spoiler warning, by the way, if you're watching this and you haven't seen the movie, go watch it and then come on back and leave a like on this video. I wasn't really a fan of the direction of this film, and the reason why was because I just think this wasn't the movie to do it. They advertised this film to be a epic conclusion between Michael and Laurie, and it didn't focus on that. We were more inclined to see Corey's story and pretty much his fall from grace, and how he becomes sort of pretty much a copycat killer to Michael. And so I'm not really a fan of that. I'm a fan of the concept. I'm not a fan they did it in this movie, Halloween Ends. I'm thinking this is an epic conclusion to the character of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, and we didn't get that. Honestly, the first half, it felt like a Riverdale episode. But I don't want to get too far into my list. I want to go through my list and kind of just go through a couple things and try to make this flow as much as possible. I hate reading off a screen or having a script. I try to make my videos like I'm talking to you, but I felt like I need to write some stuff down, especially when I go into these long reviews. I can't remember everything. I'm just not that. I'm good. Not that good. So let's start it out. Halloween Ends. I thought the intro was weak. The reason why I thought the intro was weak was when I'm thinking of a Halloween movie, what I love about these films is that every Halloween intro has been fire. It has been like, it gets you hyped for what's coming. When Corey kicks the door, knocks the kid off the banister, and he falls to his death, was it sad? Sure. Depressing? Definitely. But it wasn't badass. So when it cut to the theme and you hear that iconic John Carpenter theme, it just didn't hit as well for me. I thought it was kind of weak, and I knew right then what they were about to establish. They're about to establish this guy. It's like the Joker says, all it takes is one bad day, and this was his one bad day. You see that they're dropping hints of Corey becoming the new Michael Myers. The jumpsuit, the mechanic suit that he was wearing. I cannot remember what that's called. Maybe I'll put it down in post. But they're dropping hints about that. You know, he's already wearing pretty much the Michael Myers outfit at that point. The teenage bullies that are like bullying Corey, I thought that was so hilarious because one, they're in the fucking band. Who gets bullied by kids in the band? Like, how much of a pussy, how much of a wimp do you have to be to get bullied by the band? I just thought that was so funny. They didn't come off as intimidating to me, and it just, I don't know, it just felt kind of weird. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not like Allison in this movie, and I think I have another point about her later that kind of irritated me. I thought she was way too sexually driven. Like, she sees Corey and immediately she's like dropping her panties like immediately, and it's like it just was weird. It just felt out of character for her. They've kind of established her to be this strong female lead, and just for her to just kind of be like falling at this guy's disposal, I just felt it just didn't feel right. Like, it just. There's a channel I watch, and I'm not gonna name my name, but they're a good channel. I've been watching them for a while. Actually, no, fuck it. It's We Watch the Movie. Is the name of the YouTube channel. Maybe I'll put a link in the description. And great guys, good content. But Mike, he's pretty much the host of the show. He said that he thought Andi Matichak, the girl who played Allison, did a phenomenal job in this film. I don't really think that. I think that she honestly was out of character. I thought the way she was acting towards Corey was way too much. I just wasn't really feeling it. And I don't think she was phenomenal in this movie. I know that he's had her on the show, on their own show, and that's awesome to have her on there, someone of her stature. And maybe that's why. Maybe it's like, hey, look, she's an awesome chick. I don't want to, say anything bad about her. But look, to be honest, her character sucks in this movie. So I'm just saying. I thought it was kind of interesting. Everyone is looking down on Corey because of the accident. You get the feeling that it was an accident of kicking the boy down the banister, but everybody's looking down on him, and it's during a dark time where Michael has fled, and then you got the town of Haddonfield left in darkness because of those events. And so I thought that was kind of interesting to add that to already the very bleak nature of Haddonfield. I did think it was a really cool scene when Corey gets pushed over by the band geeks over the bridge, and then Michael pulls him into the the storm drain, pulls him in there, and Corey gets up and he's backing up, and then Michael just puts his hand out and starts choking Corey, but right there they have an instant connection. It's almost like you start seeing Corey's past. I thought that was really cool, just seeing Michael, because it took an hour to fucking see Michael, and that's the thing for me, this movie too, and I don't think I had it in my notes. I just felt like the beginning of this movie was very, very slow, and I just didn't care about Allison and Corey's relationship. I thought the humor was sucked. I think I was gonna say the humor was ass and the humor sucks at the same time. Excuse me. I think the humor was ass and it sucked. There's a part where Laurie Strode's in the kitchen and she's making a pie or doing something, and she's like, yeah, you just gotta grab it by the fucking tits. And it's like, did I giggle? Sure, I did. But the humor just isn't good. The humor they have in here, I just wasn't feeling it. And I was like, why is Laurie saying shit like that? Leads me to another thing with Allison. Allison and Corey's relationship makes zero sense. I didn't feel the chemistry at all. I didn't understand why she was so fascinated with this guy. And I'm not saying nothing on the dude's looks. I have no right to be talking about someone's appearance, so I'm not going to do that. But it's it just didn't fit for me. It didn't make much sense. And that leads me to my next point, is Allison gives me serious Padme vibes. If you watched Star Wars Attack of the Clones, the way Padme is around Anakin after Anakin says, I killed the whole village, and men and women, even children. And then Padme's like, oh, Annie. It just that's what it gave me vibes of, because there's a part where Corey's like, I think I killed somebody. And you see this look on Allison's face that's like, oh, that's so hot. Are you fucking kidding me right now? I just thought that their relationship was it was plucking my nerves, man. I don't know what this was about. It's not clear why everyone is blaming Laurie for Michael's murders. Now, I did put that note in here, but then I remembered that there was a rumor going around that Laurie picked on a special needs child, and that special needs child was Michael Myers, and then he went on a killing spree. That was the rumor that went around. And so, like, one instance I'm thinking about is when Lori, she sees Hawkins in the grocery store, and you can tell they're all flirty and stuff. And Lori, she walks the store with a big smile on her face. She looks good, hair real nice, and she just all dolled up, and she's happy. And then this lady's outside and said, "What the fuck you smiling about? If you would have stopped picking on that kid, my sister wouldn't be paralyzed and couldn't speak." And her sister is the lady that was married to the guy at the very beginning of Kills, that they both supposedly got murdered, and the husband was getting stabbed by Michael Myers right in front of her where she couldn't move, so she was just watching her husband get like stabbed to death. Really, really dark scene. I love it. But I didn't really make sense why everybody's blaming Lori for Michael's murders, and then I remember the rumors, so really, I just wanted to talk about that. Dialogue is bad. Dude, dialogue is so fucking bad, dude. It was bad in Halloween 2018, but not terrible. Halloween Kills, Evil Dies Tonight. That shit, horrible. In this film, it's even worse. One example is when Corey and Allison, they're inside like this diner, and this fucking dickhead cop that's obviously got a thing for Allison comes up, and he's saying some stuff to her. Corey gets in his face. He walks away, and then Corey goes to put his arm around Allison. Allison says, "Burn it all down." And then he says, "I'll light the match." Like, and I'm sitting here like, yo, like, that's some straight up Edward Cullen and Bella Swan type shit. And don't ask me why I know those fucking names, all right? Damn it. I like Twilight, goddammit. Anyway, it felt like Twilight, bro. It felt like Stephanie Meyer wrote these fucking lines. What I did think was badass was Michael stabbing the cop to regain strength. I thought that was awesome. Like, seeing him, it was because he's like all decrepit and he's like bent over, and it's like his shoulders up like this. And then when he starts stabbing that cop, you see his body start to straighten out, and you see his build come back. And I thought that was kind of a neat thing. I didn't like how he looked weak. I didn't like how Corey was like, "Get up, get up." Kind of like talking to Michael, kind of like a dick, I guess you're being a dick to Michael, and Michael picks up the knife. You hear that classic theme come back, and then he starts stabbing the cop, and he starts to get his strength back, and I thought that was awesome. What I found interesting was Corey and Michael working together to kill the doctor and the nurse, or an assistant. I thought that was actually pretty interesting. I'm not in love with Corey's character, but I thought that was interesting, man. It's something we never seen before. Like, two Michaels. I mean, dude, it's nuts. Like, I can't believe we're actually here. Like, I never really ever thought that this would kind of happen. You always think of Michael being the sole threat, but to have another Michael, that's pretty scary, when you think about it. But it was just more intriguing. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. Very intriguing, though. The Michael and Corey stiff that they had down in the sewers where they're pushing each other, I thought it was really funny. Like, Corey was like, "I got something, you got something I want," and runs at him, and Michael just pushes him, and he falls over. And then Corey gets back up and starts wrestling with Michael, and takes him to the ground, takes his mask off, and he says something like, "You're just a guy in a mask," takes the mask off, and then just runs away. And I thought that was that hurt, man. It's like, this might really really let you know how much of a person I am, how good of a person I am. But seeing Michael get pushed around like that really pissed me off. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like seeing your childhood hero. It's kind of like if I saw Tobey Maguire get beaten up by Tom Holland. I'd be like, man, what the fuck? You know what I mean? That would really kill me inside. So seeing that really was hard to see. Allison not trusting Lori makes no sense. And what I mean is, Lori is trying to tell, look, when I look into Corey's eyes, I see the same essence that Michael has, that pure evil. And Allison won't have none of that shit. She was just so baffled by this guy. And I don't understand. She didn't want to listen to Lori and was saying that you're obsessed with death and you're the reason why my parents are dead and all this other stuff. And it's like, did you forget about everything that came before? That just didn't make any sense to me. And if you guys can bring me some clarity on that, I'd appreciate it. I thought the whole sequence at the junkyard when the bullies followed Corey there and Corey had the Michael mask, I thought that was pretty good. The gnarly kill with the torch, he killed the main bully with the torch. I thought that was pretty cool. And what I like is, I think I've talked about in a couple of videos, that you couldn't directly see it happening, but you could hear it. You could hear the guy screaming, and you could hear the blowtorch. I thought that was a really nice touch, and it's the kind of horror that you don't have to see it, but you know what's going on, and that was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's terrifying or anything, but pretty good. All the rest of the kills were decent, nothing special. I did like the fence kill. Actually the girl who was nicest to him out of that group of band geeks, she was trapped underneath this fence, and the truck was parked over top of it. She was stuck, and that was pretty neat. She was trapped, she couldn't move, and then Corey finishes the job. I thought that was pretty good. Again, nothing special, but pretty good. Killing the radio host. I thought this was the best kill. I thought it was the most graphic, and I thought it was the most creative. Killing the radio host, cutting out his tongue, laying it on the record player while I just spun around. And what was cool was Allison, she's listening to like the radio, which who listens to the fucking radio anymore? She was listening to the radio, and the song was skipping on the station. She was wondering what the hell was going on with it. And it's because that tongue was like on there. And I thought that was pretty cool. Best kill of the film, by far. There's also a part shortly after that where Allison is going to Corey's house, and you hear this noise inside of Corey's house, and it sounded like fapping. But that was just something I noticed. I started laughing when I heard it, yeah, I'm fucking weird. Anyway, here's a big one. Corey dying, man. That's a mistake. Here's the thing. Now, like I said, I'm not a fan of the direction of this film, but here's what I'll say. If you are going to go in this direction, make it worthwhile. We follow Corey for over half the movie, right? We see his fall, we see his rise to the point of Michael Myers, and we see this whole point. We're seeing him in really, in deep depravity and everything. And then you just kill him off, and it felt like nothing. I felt like I was following a character for over half a movie that was supposed to be about Laurie and Michael, at least that's how you advertised it, for a character that's going to die at the end and die the way he did. Just a catalyst to give Michael just enough strength to fight Laurie Strode. And which brings us to the next thing, is the fight. The fight between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. It was good, very short, not very great. It was very underwhelming, to be honest. But Laurie gets upper hand, traps him down, slits his throat. And while Michael is choking her, he does one last thing. He goes to choke her, and she starts having the montage of everything that came before. It didn't hit as hard for me, because if you're saying that the other movies didn't exist, so if you're saying 1978, 2018, Kills and Ends are the canonical story in this Halloween franchise, it just doesn't hit as hard, because you know that Michael and Laurie have been through way more than what's going on here. You know what I mean? And so when they're showing the scenes, it just didn't hit for me, man. I just didn't really feel as much. Her telling Michael to kill her right there, just do it, Michael, didn't really make sense to me. Laurie had moved on with her life. She's got the boogeyman where she wants him. I thought it was kind of weird that she was asking him to kill her. I don't know. Again, give me some clarity. Laurie slits throat and wrist, and he bleeds out. Very bloody. I thought it was very bloody. I thought it was cool, slitting his throat and slitting his wrist. It was hard to watch, but it was cool. I was fine with that. And they proceed to get the whole town together, which, by the way, I don't know how all the town got notified that Michael was there and that he was dead. But whatever. They all band together, follow Laurie to the junkyard, and they grind up Michael's body. It was okay. Not too satisfying. I felt like they should have put the mask on Michael when they threw him in there. It just wasn't very satisfying to me, in my opinion. And the last shot is the mask. Laurie did keep the mask, and she kept it on her coffee table. I thought that was kind of cool as the last image. But all in all, very underwhelming end to a 40-year franchise. And here's the thing, there's only two choices. It's either the movie's badass or it's trash. This movie's trash. I have to say it. Look, upon watching it my second and most of my third time, I do like the film more. I would say probably, if I'm giving it a scale out of 10, and I don't do reviews like that here, but I would give it probably a 5 or a 6. I'd probably move towards a 6, because there were things about it that I did appreciate. And just for having the balls alone to tell this kind of story, you already get 2 points from me. But I will say it's definitely the shittiest movie, but there's only 2 ratings. It's either badass or it's trash, and I gotta give it trash. I don't do a numerical value, but if I had to, it'd be a 5 or a 6 easy. I can't recommend the movie. It's not one of those things like at Halloween, oh man, I can't wait to watch Halloween Ends. This is gonna be one of those films that I will watch again, but it would only be if I'm just having a marathon. I want to watch them all. But really, to me, after Halloween 2018, when Michael burns up in that basement of Laurie Strode's house, that's kind of where it ends for me, in my opinion. As much as I like Halloween Kills, I don't love it. And yeah, I just, I think that this was a very poor way to end a 40-year story that you're trying to tell here. And I know this isn't the end of Michael Myers. We'll see him again. We'll see him around different people in different situations. So this isn't like the end of him as a character. But as far as this is it with Jamie Lee Curtis and Laurie Strode, I just felt this is very lackluster. And yeah, I think it suffers majorly for that. So anyway, look, that's all I got for you. Let me know what you think about Halloween Ends down in the comments. And do you agree with my trash rating? I'm not changing that. Even if I do watch the movie back and I like it even more, it's still trash. I still think that they delivered poorly on this story and the fit this story at the very end like they did and shoehorned it in. It felt very rushed. I have to give it a trash rating. So anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind sharing this video, maybe a lot of us have the same thoughts. Let us know down in the comments. We plan to have a whole podcast dedicated to Halloween Ends, so we'll go into more detail about it. And we'll be able to be doing that in like 2 weeks. I think October 29th, actually. October 29th, 6 o'clock, we'll do a podcast episode on Halloween Ends, and we'll get into the deets, the juicy, juicy deets of this film. And maybe my opinion will change even more. So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Evil dies tonight. Stay dead, my friends.